My mom secretly invited my sister to my wedding. Without me knowing, my sister gave a speech about a mean thing from high school, so my husband asked her to leave. Now my mom is taking my sister's side. I, a 27-year-old woman, recently married my boyfriend of 7 years, Aaron, who is also 27. The wedding went well except for one incident involving my mom, aged 52, and my estranged sister, Monica, aged 25. Aaron had to ask Monica to leave after she made a troubling speech. Now my mom is upset and believes Aaron was wrong to do so. To understand the situation better, Monica and I haven't spoken for nearly 4 years due to an uncomfortable incident at a Thanksgiving dinner hosted by our parents. Monica had been showing interest in Aaron throughout the evening, which I initially overlooked to avoid spoiling the family dinner. However, after dinner, Aaron confessed that Monica's behavior made him uncomfortable. When I confronted her, it escalated into a big argument. Monica insisted Aaron should have addressed it directly with her, but he preferred not to engage in confrontations and approached me instead. Then she went on to say that Aaron deserves someone better, implying he shouldn't settle for me. My dad had to step in and tell her to stop. She got upset and left. After that day, we hadn't seen or spoken to each other, which was a relief because Monica and I never got along. Since we were kids, she was always competitive, trying to make me look less capable, even though I was older. She was already my mom's favorite but wanted to be my dad's favorite too. Our relationship worsened in high school, and by college graduation we barely spoke. I decided to avoid events she attended, asking my dad beforehand if she would be there, and if so, I wouldn't go. If she wasn't attending, then I would. It was a perfect system. Thankfully, my dad respected my boundaries, unlike my mother, who always pushed for reconciliation, despite Aaron feeling uncomfortable around Monica. So it wasn't surprising when my mom invited Monica to my wedding without consulting me first. I was shocked when Monica showed up after the ceremony. I immediately confronted my mother, who said Monica suggested it herself upon hearing about my wedding. My mother thought it would be a good chance for us to reconcile as sisters. I disagreed strongly and demanded Monica leave, but my mother insisted nothing bad would happen. She was wrong. As we argued, Monica grabbed the microphone and began her speech. I froze, knowing it wouldn't be anything good about me. It all started out normal enough with her making a toast to the newlyweds. Then she brought up this incident from high school that she'd always held against me. Back when I was a senior and she was a sophomore, there was this guy, Chris, who was a crush for many, but Chris and I were just good friends. This led to some people being upset with me for no reason. I knew Chris from middle school, but he had moved away for 2 years before returning, looking more attractive than before. Despite just being friends, people started to dislike me, especially Monica. She had feelings for Chris and couldn't handle how close we were. So she spread a rumor that Chris and I were secretly dating, even bragging about it at home. Of course, that wasn't true, and both Chris and I knew it. We were aware that the rumor was concocted by my sister. Instead of falling into her trap and letting her ruin our friendship, we decided to play along. We started holding hands in the hallways and pretending to be a couple just to make Monica jealous. Whenever she and her friends passed by, we would exaggerate our affection, relishing the anger on her face. Soon the whole school was in on the joke, and Monica's plan backfired. People started mocking her for spreading such ridiculous rumors, as high schoolers can be quite cruel when they want to be. Then one day, when someone teased her for lying, she decided to confront me in the cafeteria, hoping to make a scene. But it didn't end well for her. As soon as she approached me, Chris stepped in to defend me. He firmly told her off, reminding her that she had no right to berate me since she was the one who started the false rumor to break our friendship. He called her out for being crazy, insecure, and jealous. Monica became furious and began hurling curses at him. The language she used was so vile that Chris had to walk away. Unable to tolerate it, I told her to stop, but she continued swearing at us. In the heat of the moment, I grabbed her by the hair and slapped her. It wasn't a proud moment, and both of us ended up in trouble for it. She blames me for making the next couple of years in high school difficult for her. Everyone remembered her because of that one incident. While I graduated, she had to endure 2 more years with the same people who witnessed her being reprimanded by the popular guy in her senior year, and then being slapped by her own sister in front of everyone. It must have been tough for her, but she brought it upon herself, and I didn't feel responsible. However, she narrated the incident in a way that portrayed her as the victim and me in a negative light. In her speech, she accused me of not only ruining her school experience but also damaging her relationship with our father, though she conveniently left out the incident that led to him distancing himself from her. Aaron couldn't take it anymore. He stood up, grabbed the microphone from her, and began escorting her out, despite my mother's attempts to intervene. I stood there in disbelief as everything unfolded at my wedding. There was chaos at the exit as my bridesmaids tried to remove Monica, but both she and my mother resisted. Eventually they left, leaving me so upset that I sought refuge in the restroom. I didn't emerge until Aaron reassured me that the guests would judge Monica and my mother, not me. While his words didn't fully comfort me, I knew I had to stay strong for everyone else, so I returned, putting on a brave face for the sake of the event. Afterward, when everyone had left, I spoke to my dad about the situation. He offered to talk to my mother and make her apologize, but I declined, saying I didn't care anymore. Whether she apologized or not, my dad seemed to understand my feelings. It's been a few days since, and my mother contacted me a couple of days ago, insisting I leave my husband because she believed he was the one at fault. I reluctantly answered her call, hoping for an apology, but instead she accused Aaron of being crazy and urged me to end the marriage. Her reasoning was that he had physically attempted to remove Monica, implying he might harm me too. I found it unreasonable to compare Monica's behavior to mine and felt frustrated by her blame-shifting tactics. Aaron was simply trying to prevent Monica from hijacking our wedding, and he did so with restraint. Monica's words were inexcusable, and I reminded my mother that I had refrained from reacting violently, unlike in the past. However, she insisted that both Aaron and I needed help, which only led to more conflict. She insisted that resorting to violence wasn't the solution to our problems, while acknowledging that Monica was wrong for her speech and admitting she shouldn't have invited her without consulting me. She believed both my husband and I were in the wrong for supporting physical force. My mother warned that Monica could even take legal action against Aaron, although she chose not to out of consideration for us. My mother thought we should apologize, but I was uncertain about whether we should. Honestly, this post is more about my husband, who's facing criticism for physically removing my sister from the mic and ejecting her from the venue after her hurtful speech at our wedding. Update: it's been a week, and most comments agree that Aaron went too far, so we decided to apologize to Monica solely for that aspect. Aaron has drafted an apology letter to send to her directly, and I'm just hoping this ordeal will come to an end soon. My mother has been pressuring me to apologize to Monica as well. She hasn't apologized to us yet, and honestly, I don't expect her to. It's doubtful she even realizes she did anything wrong, and even if she did apologize, it wouldn't mean much to me. I just want my husband to apologize so we can have peace of mind. If she chooses to apologize later, fine, but I'm not holding my breath. Her apology holds no weight for me. I know the truth about her and what kind of person she is. I don't want to waste any more time dwelling on her or my mother. Once this is all settled, I plan to block my mother because I know she'll never understand my perspective. Ever since Monica was born, she had a favorite, but I never imagined her bias would blind her to right and wrong. Anyone with half a brain could see Monica's intentions were never good toward me, and inviting her to such an important event like our wedding was a mistake. It's frustrating that my mother thinks Aaron and I should apologize despite her being the one who caused all the trouble. I'm not even surprised. She's always treated Monica like she's incapable of making mistakes, while I'm held to impossible standards. I'm tired of being the one who sacrifices and forgives, especially when people like Monica show no remorse. I've tried to maintain a relationship with my mother for my father's sake, but I've reached my limit. After sending the apology, I'll inform her it's over because I can't do this forever. Update: Aaron and I emailed the apology to Monica, hoping it would be enough, but she took it as an opportunity to humiliate us further. She posted a screenshot of the email on social media, boasting about making us beg for forgiveness. It infuriated me to see her twist the situation like that. I found myself wishing there was a way to undo sent emails or something similar. Since we didn't follow each other on social media, it was actually a cousin who alerted me to the post, revealing what was happening behind my back. It was infuriating to see Monica using our apology against us. Instead of confronting her directly, I called my mother to inquire about the situation. She had an explanation ready, downplaying the insult as petty and insignificant. Despite her assurances, the post remained, prompting me to issue an ultimatum. I warned my mother that if the post wasn't removed within half an hour, I'd take matters into my own hands, revealing certain information about Monica that could tarnish her reputation irreparably. Despite my threat, the post stayed up, leading Aaron and me to decide it was time to expose Monica. We revealed not only the truth about her attempts to hit on Aaron at Thanksgiving and the incident with Chris, but also her affair with her best friend's husband, a scandal kept secret from almost everyone. It was embarrassing for Monica, so she kept the affair under wraps. However, I knew about it, despite Monica's efforts to keep it from me. Her best friend, who attended high school with us, confided in a few close friends, one of whom reached out to me because it involved my sister. Out of respect for her ex-best friend, I kept the affair confidential. But now I no longer cared about protecting Monica's secrets. I made the affair public to ensure everyone from our high school knew the truth about her. What was satisfying was that I didn't need to embellish or distort the truth like Monica did. Everything I said about her was entirely accurate. The likes and reactions poured in as soon as I posted, given Monica's popularity in high school and college. People were shocked and intrigued by the affair and Monica's attempts to flirt with my husband. My post served as proof that Monica's cruel streak wasn't new. It was just who she was. My mother's encouragement only fueled her behavior further. After posting, Aaron and I felt some relief. We had retaliated. We decided to disconnect from our phones and electronics for a few hours, opting for a walk instead. When we returned home, we began packing for our honeymoon, scheduled to start in a few days. It wasn't until later we checked our phones again. It was nearly midnight when I powered on my phone, only to be bombarded with notifications from everyone I knew. I decided to check my mom's messages first, and unsurprisingly, she was siding with Monica, claiming I went too far by bringing up the affair. She said Monica was distraught and couldn't stop crying, as if that was supposed to make me feel guilty. I didn't respond to my mother and instead checked the comments on my post, which were overwhelmingly against Monica, giving me a sense of validation. It had been a day since I posted, and by now it seemed like everyone from my family and high school had seen it and had something to say about Monica. I didn't feel bad. She had always tried to provoke me, and this time she deserved the consequences. The post would stay up for as long as I pleased, regardless of her tears or pleas for removal. Update 3. It's been 2 weeks since the post went up, and I decided to take it down yesterday. It had reached its intended audience, and I didn't want it cluttering my feed anymore. I blocked my mother and Monica a few days after the post. I didn't want them to have any access to me. My dad supported my decision, believing it was the right thing to do, even if it meant exposing Monica's ex-best friend. I didn't name her, providing some comfort. Even if I inadvertently exposed her, she had been unkind to me due to Monica's influence, so I didn't feel too sorry about it. Aaron and I are currently savoring our honeymoon, and I almost forgot to give you all an update until someone messaged me asking about Chris. Well, he and I are still friends. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it to the wedding due to a bad stomach flu, but we plan to catch up in the next few weeks. When we do, I'll be sure to snap a photo and share it, especially for Monica to see. On another note, my dad has been discussing my mom's irrational behavior regarding Monica. He even asked me if he should consider couples counseling or possibly divorce. I was surprised to hear that my dad was contemplating divorce after so many years together, but he explained that he just wasn't feeling happy anymore. Dealing with my mom's behavior daily was taking a toll on him, especially when she tried to persuade him to disinherit me in favor of Monica. It was emotionally draining for him, and he felt he needed a break. I assured him I'd support whatever decision he made, even if he chose to stay with my mom. His happiness mattered most. However, I hope they consider couples counseling, as it could benefit both of them. My mom and sister could also benefit from therapy. It might help them work through their issues.